Ubuntu 26.04 LTS and Linux Mint 22.3 are two of the biggest, hottest Linux distros in the world. While Linux Mint and Ubuntu do share a common lineage, they couldn't be more different from each other. On one side, Ubuntu 26.04, the brand new LTS with its shiny new GNOME 50, kernel 7.0 and cutting edge tech is the king of Linux distros. On the other hand, we have Linux Mint 22.3, calm, familiar and stubbornly comfortable. This distro is in a league of its own. I've been using both of these distros for decades now and they provide uniquely polished computing experiences. Very different from each other, but both have solid advantages of their own. And in this video, we are comparing them side by side in absolutely every aspect. User interface, performance, stability, software availability, gaming. Yeah, this is going to be a big distro battle. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, let's kick things off with the user interface, and honestly, this is where Ubuntu and Linux Mint show the largest divergence. Now here's the thing, Mint is built on Ubuntu, same DNA under the hood, but that's where the similarities start and end. Ubuntu 26.04 ships with GNOME 50 and Linux Mint 22.3 gives you Cinnamon 6.6. Completely different desktop environments and the experience you get from each one couldn't be more different. Let's start with Ubuntu. GNOME 50 with Ubuntu's signature touches, that Yaru theme, the maroonish orange premium feel and the always on dock sitting on the left. It looks modern, it looks sleek, it feels like the future of Linux desktop. But GNOME has its own way of doing things. If you're coming from Windows, this is going to be very different. It's a super button driven workflow. Press it to find your apps, press it for the overview, press it to switch between apps and workspaces. Clean and modern, but it asks you to learn its rhythm. But Ubuntu provides this left dock that grounds your workflow and even helps beginners or Ubuntu newcomers get started smoothly. Now, Mint gives you Cinnamon Desktop version 6.6. It gives you a bottom panel, a proper start menu style application menu, a system tray, and desktop icons. And the moment you see it, something just clicks. If you've ever used Windows, and let's be honest, most people have, you feel right at home in about 10 seconds flat. No learning curve, everything is exactly where you expect it to be. Linux Mint Cinnamon nails that familiar comfort right out of the box. And want to tweak it further? Cinnamon's applets, desklets, extensions and themes make customization a breeze. But yeah, the user experience that both these distros provide couldn't be further apart. The way you use your computer, the workflow, the design language, everything is completely different. Linux Mint definitely has the familiarity advantage. The moment you look at this desktop, you know how to use it. You know where everything is. Ubuntu, on the other hand, provides this premium polished desktop that once you get the hang of it, it's an absolute productivity monster. Quick note for the techies, Ubuntu's GNOME 50 is Wayland only and brings the newer goodies, fractional scaling, variable refresh rate, buttery smooth animations. Cinnamon 6.6 is still mostly X11 with Wayland, only experimental for now, something to keep in mind, especially you NVIDIA folks. So who wins? Honestly, user interface is deeply subjective. I might like orange, you might like green. Ubuntu gives you modern and sleek, Mint gives you familiar and comfortable, and both nail exactly what they are going for. So I'm giving both a point each here and we move on to the section where things get really interesting. Okay, real quick, I have launched a one-on-one ChatGPT Mastery coaching program where I'll personally teach you and take your ChatGPT and AI skills from beginner to pro level in just 3 hours. Most people are stuck using just 1% of what ChatGPT can do, but in 3 hours, just you and me, we are going to master the fundamentals, learn prompt engineering frameworks that you can apply anywhere and move on to the advanced techniques of sparring and meta prompting. I'll also help you build prompts and workflows that are going to give you a massive boost in your personal and professional life, tailored specifically for you. You also get 2 bonus browser extensions, one that lets you save and use all your prompts and another one that lets you dictate and type in any website. And since it's a one-on-one, spots are genuinely limited. Sign up using the link in the description below. Okay, now let's talk performance. Let me start with a single number that tells you almost the whole story. Ubuntu 26.04's comfortable spec calls for 6 GB of RAM. Linux Mint 22.3, it recommends just 4 GB and it will happily run on 2. That's a massive gap and it sets the tone for everything here. Let's look at the idle resource usage first. On a fresh boot, Mint Cinnamon 6.6 desktop sits noticeably lighter than Ubuntu's GNOME 50. We are talking a real measurable difference. Cinnamon is just a leaner desktop and it shows the moment you log in. Now I want to be very fair to Ubuntu here. The higher RAM appetite is not bloat. GNOME 50, Wayland, the animations, the background services. This is what a modern, polished 2026 desktop actually costs. Ubuntu isn't being wasteful. It's spending that memory to give you a richer, smoother experience. So don't treat 6 GB as a bad thing. Treat it as a different priority. boot times and app launches. On modern hardware, honestly both feel great. Ubuntu boots fast, apps pop open, everything is snappy. Although I'll say this, some of Ubuntu's apps take a bit longer to cold start, and there's a reason for that which we'll get into in the very next section. Hint, it rhymes with app. But here's where it gets decisive. Throw both of these on an older machine, say a laptop with 4 GB of RAM and a spinning hard drive, and load up a browser with 10 or 12 tabs. On modern hardware with an SSD, it's a tie. On that older box, Mint just keeps cruising while Ubuntu starts to sweat. Mint stays responsive, stays usable, stays smooth. This difference in performance keeps on growing the older the hardware gets. So in the performance department, your hardware, your actual machine and its raw power matters a lot. For example, if you have an SSD, both will feel almost similar in terms of app launch speeds, no difference there. But on a traditional hard disk drive, Ubuntu is going to lag hard compared to Mint on something as simple as launching the browser. Keep this in mind. Under the hood, Ubuntu rides the newer kernel 7.0 while Mint sticks with the older but stable 6.14. Newest tech versus battle-tested reliability. So who takes this one? As I said, on a modern machine, it's basically a tie. But the second you put these on older hardware with tight RAM, Mint pulls clearly ahead. And since that might describe a good chunk of people watching this video, I'm giving the performance point to Linux Mint. Next up, we have a big one. The section you've all been waiting for, the biggest battleground between these two distros, software availability, and specifically one thing that divides the entire Linux community. But before we throw punches, let's start with the similarities. Linux Mint is a Ubuntu based distribution. It is built on Ubuntu. So both Ubuntu and Mint share the same Ubuntu foundation, same apt, same massive .deb software repositories. So you can pretty much sudo apt install anything you want on either one. That huge well-tested software library, both distros get it. That's the common ground. And Ubuntu, as the most popular Linux distro, enjoys first-class software availability. All the software vendors who create software for Linux support Ubuntu, and its software repositories are just massive. And since Mint is using the same base, it derives all these benefits. Now here's a twist I need you to keep in mind. The Ubuntu we are using in this video, the latest LTS version, is Ubuntu 26.04, while Linux Mint 22.3 is still based on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So out of the box, Ubuntu here actually gives you newer packages, the newer libraries, the newer everything. Mint trades that freshness for a base that's been hammered on for 2 extra years. Keep that in mind, it matters here. Now let's talk about Ubuntu's approach. Canonical goes all in on Snap, Ubuntu's containerized universal packages. The App Center is Snap first, and a ton of apps, even some system components, ship as snaps. And to Snap's credit, this is huge for software availability. When big software vendors like Google, NVIDIA, Spotify, Microsoft say Linux, they usually mean Ubuntu, and they ship official snaps and only as snaps. You also always get the latest versions, and in 26.04, Canonical has genuinely improved Snap. Better portal integration, cleaner permission. It's the most polished Snap has ever been. But Snap is controversial, and Mint is the loudest voice in the room against them. Linux Mint officially disables the Snap store out of the box. They don't just avoid it, they actually argue against it. Their concern is the centralized proprietary backend that only Canonical controls. So Mint hands you .deb packages plus Flatpak from Flathub, all through its clean software manager. Now I don't want to just scream Snap bad like everybody else. Let's be fair and look at it. Let's take the same app and install it as a Snap, as a Flatpak, and as a .deb. The .deb launches instantly. The Snap on first launch, it's slower. That's the cold start I teased earlier. Snaps also eat significantly more disk space. Flatpak's also similar in terms of performance and disk usage, but with a stronger, more open community behind it. None of this is a deal breaker, but you feel it. Linux Mint ships these Flatpaks instead of snaps. Here's the honest truth though. For a normal user, both distros put almost any app a couple of clicks away. Nobody's getting stranded here. The real difference is philosophy. Ubuntu gives you the most integrated vendor-backed app platform there is. Mint gives you less controversial, more community-friendly ones. So no snap surprises. Now, Linux Mint and Ubuntu are heading in very different directions, although the lineage is the same. Snaps are definitely a dividing factor here, and Linux Mint has also started its own Linux Mint Debian edition as a second option if Ubuntu deviates too much from Linux Mint's core philosophy in the future. But right now, both provide excellent software availability. Yeah, there are differences, but for the end user on both Ubuntu as well as Linux Mint, you can just open up the App Center or the software store and just install absolutely anything you want with a single click. So both Ubuntu and Linux Mint get a point each here. Since Ubuntu and Linux Mint are built on the same Ubuntu base, the gaming experience on them for all practical purposes is identical. The simplest best way to game on either of these: install Steam from their respective app stores, download your game and hit play. That's it. Thousands of games, including Windows exclusive titles like GTA 5, The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, just work. No tinkering, no wine hassle. And here's the thing, the whole gaming stack is distro agnostic. Steam, Proton, Lutris, Heroic, Mango Hut, same tools, same results. Talking about the performance, both are going to deliver very similar FPS when gaming. Yeah, Ubuntu might take a small lead because of newer versions of the kernel, Mesa and other important libraries. Now if you're gaming with Wine and installing your own Windows games, Ubuntu will definitely give a performance boost because the newer Wine version as well as the newer 7.0 kernel in Ubuntu use something called NTSYNC technology, and that has shown to significantly boost gaming FPS. Now you will not see this difference while gaming with Steam because something similar is baked in there, but you will see this difference when using Wine. One honest caveat: competitive shooters with kernel level anti-cheat like Valorant and Fortnite still don't work, so check ProtonDB to see which Windows games are compatible here. Gaming on these two is functionally identical and it's genuinely fantastic, so both get a point each for gaming. Now let's talk stability and support. Both Ubuntu and Linux Mint are rock solid. They both ride a battle-tested Ubuntu LTS base, so neither one is going to fall apart on you. This isn't which one crashes section, because both of these are dependability champions. The real story here is time, how each one handles updates and how long it sticks around. Start with the release schedule because this is where they differ slightly. Ubuntu puts out a new LTS every 2 years, supported for 5 up to 10 with Pro. Ubuntu 26.04 is the newest LTS on the block, getting security updates all the way to April 2031. Mint 2 builds on these LTS bases, not chasing the new and shiny. Mint 22.3 sits on that Ubuntu 24.04 foundation, supported till April 2029. Its point release is just polish the same proven base instead of rebuilding it. Then there's the update experience. Ubuntu pushes you towards newest, well-tested packages with snaps quietly refreshing in the background. Mint takes the cautious route as well. That famously careful update manager, plus the Timeshift snapshot culture baked right in. So if an update ever misbehaves, you roll back in seconds. Ubuntu is the choice of the professionals. It is deployed on $1 million servers and as such, it is built to very high standards of stability. Linux Mint 2 is very conservative with updates and it prioritizes a working functional system over the flashy stuff. And when you utilize the update manager and Timeshift properly, this will run smooth for 5 years, no problem. So who wins? Honestly, both nail stability. They're both excellent, both get a point each. When we talk about installing and getting set up, both are about as easy as it gets. Same Ubuntu installer DNA, so it's the same friendly story. Boot the USB, click through a few screens, language selection, partitioning, drivers, and done. Ubuntu gives you that slick, modern, refreshed installer, clean, step-by-step, with a tick box for third-party drivers and codecs, and even TPM-backed full disk encryption if you want it locked down. Mint runs the classic rock-solid installer. Plainer to look at but fast and proven, and the second you boot in, that friendly welcome screen walks you through drivers, snapshots and updates. Ubuntu and Linux Mint come with inbuilt driver installers. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, you can check the install proprietary drivers box during installation, and both Mint and Ubuntu will automatically install the correct drivers. Linux Mint in addition provides the additional drivers application that lets you inspect and install correct drivers as well. Now here's one important thing you should keep in mind. If you have a very new model of laptop with latest processors, Ubuntu's 7.0 kernel is going to come with out-of-the-box support for those newer processors, and Linux Mint, because it is on an older kernel, might not support them. And if that's the case, you will need to download the Linux Mint Edge ISO, which comes with a newer kernel with support for these modern processors and hardware. This simple, straightforward installation process is definitely one of the biggest selling points of both Ubuntu and Mint. They both are just so easy to install and get started with, so both get a point each for installation and setup. Alright, we have gone through every round: UI, performance, software, gaming, stability and installation, and you have watched the scoreboard fill up. Now it's time for the part I actually care about most, my personal pick, and I'll just say it upfront, my point goes to Linux Mint. Now this is me saying Mint is the better distro on paper. Ubuntu 26.04 LTS is more modern, the more popular platform, no question about it. This section comes down to how I personally like to use my computer. When I sit down to actually get work done on Mint, the whole thing just feels effortless. And keeping opinions aside, the bottom panel workflow has real merit. It's familiar, it's efficient, and just lets you get work done. Hit the super key on GNOME and you got all your windows flying across the screen. Hit it on Cinnamon and you get this neat little menu pop up in the corner. I browse or I just start typing and I'm in the app I want before I even thought about it. That simplicity, that elegance, for productivity, it's everything. and there's consistency too. Look at Mint 17, Mint 19, 20, 22.3. It's the same desktop, just polished, just refined, evolving gently year after year. Nothing ever gets ripped out from under you. That matters way more than people realize. Pair that with Mint's even more cautious update rhythm and you get a calm, dependable system you never have to brace yourself for. Now let me be crystal clear about Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is in a league of its own. Whoever you hand it to, your grandma, a developer, a first-time switcher, Ubuntu just nails it. You genuinely cannot go wrong with Ubuntu, and that is rare. You can't say that about many distros or even many operating systems. If you want the newest, most polished, most universally bulletproof Linux out there, install Ubuntu and never look back. But for me, Linux Mint it is. I honestly can't put my finger on it. It's the elegance, it's the simplicity. It's a computing platform that just stays out of your way the moment you log in. You're plugged in, you get your work done, and the OS quietly disappears. That is invaluable to me. Linux Mint just feels like home. So my personal point this year goes to Linux Mint. And by the total tally of points, Linux Mint 22.3 wins the hottest distro battle of 2026. Alright, there you have it. The download links for both Ubuntu 26.04 LTS and Linux Mint 22.3 are given in the description below. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, definitely consider subscribing to the channel and also give me a big thumbs up. Next up, check out the 20 things you must do after installing Ubuntu 26.04 LTS to turbocharge it. I got some really cool tweaks there. We are going to boost your internet speed, make your app launches faster, and also connect your smartphone to your Ubuntu and let you use your PC wirelessly. There's so much more there. Definitely check it out. Alright, this is Linux Techs signing out.